The top 3 picks in the upcoming 2018 PBA Draft are practically secured for CJ Perez, Robert Bolick, and Bobby Ray Parks Jr., but it doesn't mean the remaining aspirants are going to be pushovers. Coaches in attendance during the PBA Draft Combine Thursday at Gatorade Hoops Center had their scouting goggles on to look at potential rookies that could make an impact for their respective teams. Although some tried to hide their tricks up their sleeves, 6-time champion Leo Austria named who can be viable options who can even be drafted in the 3rd round. There are still a lot of players that can be picked up in the 3rd round. The only problem is they lack the exposure, said Austria in Filipino. But I can see some who have the potential. Austria, whose team won't get a single pick in the first 2 rounds, singled out wingmen Kyles Lau and Clark Derige and guard Dan Alberto among those who can break into his San Miguel roster, with the problem that these new players will be dead last in the Beermen's pecking order. The only problem is by the time you get to the 3rd round your team is almost complete, and for example, in my team, if you're a point guard you'll have to wait behind Alex Cabagnat and Chris Ross, added Austria. Rain or shine head coach Caloy Garcia, whose team owns the 6th and 8th picks, looked at guards JP Calvo and CJ Isett and forward Matt Salem as quality rookies who can beef up any team. Almost everyone's been showing great promise, and this will be a hard decision and we really have to study for this, said Garcia in Filipino. I think it will just depend on who's still available when it's your turn to pick. Of the coaches present in the combine, probably the one with the most pressure is Meralco head coach Norman Black. Meralco owns the 0.5 pick in the draft, and Black said he's looking at those players who didn't receive that much fanfare as compared to the potential top 3 picks. We have guys in mind, but a lot of that will depend on who is the 0.4 pick, said Black. You normally see guys whom you haven't probably seen before, and you have a chance to see guys who are mostly under the radar. It just gave me a 2nd and 3rd chance to reinforce what I saw in practice. For NLEX assistant coach Sandy Arispacachaga, picking a player doesn't just rely on what place a team is on the board, but it also depends on the needs of a given roster. The Road Warriors own the 7th overall pick in the draft, and they're looking to get someone who will mesh well with the current roster that they have. We're really thinking hard for this one because it's not just the position of the player that we're looking for, said Arispacachaga. We're also looking at the talent who can help us and fit in our team. Another coach who has a conundrum in this year's combine is TNT's Bung Ravina, whose team's pick will be dealt to rain or shine after the Catropa traded for Jericho Cruz in February of 2018. Ravina said they're in a position where they don't have many players to choose from and that they're left to select the best quality player that best fits the roster. The first priority is to look for bigs because we have a guard-heavy lineup, said Ravina in Filipino. We can also look for a potential backup for Jason Castro and probably a wingman. So far I like Kent Lau, who's 6'4",